Greetings, Iain from RTO here. Hope you're all well. Just before we start today, some breaking news from last night. The sad news that Gary Brooker, famous for Procol Harum founder, piano player, keyboard player, singer, has sadly died over the weekend. He lost his battle with cancer. Such a shame. Great band, made some really good songs, of course. We sadly missed a great contribution to the music scene of the 60s, of course. So as next week, I haven't sort of penciled in next week's schedule, but already what I was going to do for retro ranking has now changed, because we'll be doing a special on Procol Harum in memory of Gary Brooker. Okay, we'll get on down to business then. It's Marathon Wednesday. We've got another viewer's request, and this week we are tackling American rock band from San Francisco, California, the Doobie Brothers, or San Jose, California. Sorry, not San Francisco, where they'll get that from. They've been known for their flexibility in performing across numerous genres and their vocal harmonies, of course. They've been active for 5 decades, with their greatest success obviously in the 1970s. Had quite a few changes. They split up for a while, then they come back, and they've come back really strong. So they've released 15 studio albums, so we'll get a cracking. So coming in at number 15, we have the 14th album, released in 2014, and it is called Southbound. This is an album featuring collaborations with artists and remakes of various hits by the band. It's the only album that features Tony Paya since he joined the band in 2010, before leaving the group in 2016, since Hassock's retirement due to cancer and his sad death in 2012. It's also the last studio album to feature Guy Allison before his departure. So on here we've got Tom Johnson, Patrick Simmons, John McPhee and Michael McDonald. It's basically their hits. We've got Blackwater on here, Listen to the Music, What a Fool Believes, Long Train Running, China Groove, Takin to the Streets, which is actually better than the original. Jesus is Alright, Rocking Down the Highway, Take Me in Your Arms, South City, You Belong to Me, Nobody, Intro, and Nobody. Okay, this album, it's alright. A couple of the songs are actually better than the originals. It's pleasant enough. It's the sort of album that I've not got it. I've listened to it till the once, and I wasn't overly impressed. I don't like albums when people go in and remake their own songs. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 4.5. Okay then, coming in at number 14, we go to 1977 for the 7th album, Livin on the Fault Line. This features Patrick Simmons, Jeff Baxter on guitars, Michael McDonald, Tieran Porter, Keith Knudsen on the drums, and John Hartman. First track on this one is called You're Made That Way. It's pleasant enough. It just doesn't rock for me, I'm afraid. Echoes of Love, some nice guitar work from Patrick Simmons again, but it's too soulful. It's not the rocky West Coast American sound that I love from this band. Little Darling, When I Need You, I like this one. It's very much Doobie Brothers sound. It's pretty good harmonies on that. Nice song. You Belong to Me, this is wrote by Carly Simon with Michael McDonald. yeah, you can tell the influence and input of Carly Simon on this. It's a pretty good song. Living on the Fault Line, it's okay. I do love the jazzy keyboard in this though. Nothing But a Heartache, it's alright. It's not one of my favourite tracks. Chinatown, nice guitar work, but that's all I really like about it. There's a Light, it's okay. I don't like this style of Doobie Brothers very much. Need a Lady, again, I'm not very keen on it. My favourite track is the last bit. It's one of Patrick Simmons' little guitar things. It's called Larry the Lodger. And it's the best thing. It's only short, but it's the best thing on the album for me. But unfortunately, I'm not a great fan of this phase of the Doobie Brothers career. It's too funky for me. I don't know. I just think the Michael McDonald led era of Doobie Brothers is not. Personally, I mean, I know there's a lot of people that love it, and I get that, but for me personally, I just wasn't into that sort of sound. But the tracks I do like on it, there are a few, and I'm going to give it an RTO ranking of 5 out of 10. Okay, then coming in at number 13, we have the 9th album, released in 1980, and this was the last one before the split, and it's One Step Closer. It's got Patrick Simmons on guitars, John McPhee guitars, Michael McDonald vocals and keyboards, Cornelius Bumpus, I like that name, tenor sax, Tieran Porter on the bass, Keith Knudsen on the drums, and Chet McCracken on the vibraphone and drums. First track on this one is dedicated to dedicate this out. Again, it's got that funky disco sound, and I particularly don't like it. Real Love starts well, nice rock, but then it goes into that horrible wishy-washy pop sound that they were doing, and it just doesn't really do anything for me. No Stopping Us Now. This one's not too bad. I do like the funky guitars in this. It's quite cool, that funky guitar. Thank You Love, I just can't get into that at all. One Step Closer, the title track, it's okay, some nice guitar playing on it, really good. Then we get Keep This Train Rolling. I like that track, really good track. This is old style Doobie Brothers to me, pretty cool. Just in Time, I just don't, it's just not my cup of tea, I'm afraid. South Bay Strut, again, it's probably not very good. I'm sorry, I know there's people out there that love this album, I don't. And One by One, again, an album that I don't particularly listen to a lot. There are some one or two good tracks that I haven't got this album. I've listened to it 3 times, and there's a couple of tracks that I've got on a compilation that I like, and that's about it really. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 6 out of 10. Okay, coming in number 12, we go to the 12th album, released in the year 2000, Sibling Rivalry. It's the first band since 1991. It's also the only Doobie Brothers studio album that features lead vocal by John McPhee and Keith, and it's the first album that Keith Knudsen played on since he rejoined after he left the band. So we got Tom Johnson, Patrick Simmons, John McPhee, Michael Knudsen and Michael Hossack. People Gotta Love Again, nice little rocker this is. Great vocal from Tom Johnson, I love his vocals. Absolutely belting album track that is. Leave My Heartache behind. Yet another good track. The guitar work on this is good. It's a little bit country, but it's a very, very good track, and I like that one. Ordinary Man, very nice track again. Great guitar work on this, no problem with that. Jericho, I'm out with that one. I'm not very keen on that one. On Every Corner, nice guitar work on this one. It's a very laid back track, very good. Angels of Madness, I'm sorry, this sounds more like a boy band on this than a rock band. No, I just don't like it. 45th Floor, best track on the album. It goes back to the early days of the Doobie Brothers. It's a pretty cool track. Can't Stand to Lose, very Eagles, but it's very good. I love the Eagles, so I like that one. Higher Ground, the pedal steel guitar on this is the best thing. Absolutely brilliant, and I like that track a lot. Gates of Eden, very solid track. More consistent sound of the Doobie Brothers. Don't Be Afraid, a little bit of filler. It's one of the tracks that shouldn't be on this album. It's too many on this. Rockin' Horse again, bit of a filler. Five Corners, short but a very nice piece of music. Yeah, pretty good album, I think. There's three or four tracks on here that too long though, but it's got some of the old style sound, I think, and that's what I pretty like about it. And so I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 6.3. Okay then, coming in at number 11, we go to the sixth studio album, released in 1976, Taking It to the Streets. It was the first to feature Michael McDonald on vocals. And we have got Tom Johnson, Patrick Simmons, Jeff Baxter, Michael McDonald, Tieran Porter, John Hartman and Keith Knudsen. First track on here is Wheels of Fortune. Love this. Great track. I love the beginning of this. It's pretty good. Taking It to the Streets. Again, another good track. Love the melody on this. And it's got a great bass line from Tieran Porter, like that one. 8th Avenue Shuffle, again, bass line on this is brilliant. It's a really good strong track. Losing End, not a favourite of mine, I'm afraid. It's sort of start of this soul-y style of Doobie Brothers with Michael McDonald, so not very good. Rio, love this. It's very Santana and I love Santana, so I like that track a lot. For Something Special, don't mind this one. Some great guitar stuff on this. It Keeps You Running, it's got a drum machine on. What's going on there? Let me get Turn It Loose. I love this track, my favourite one on the album. It actually sounds like proper Doobie Brothers. Absolutely brilliant. And Carrying Me Away, just not my cup of tea. It's not very good at all. As again, there are some good tracks on the album, but this is where the changeover and the influence of Michael McDonald came in. So I'm going to give this one an RTO ranking of 6.5. Okay, coming in at number 10, we have the most current album, 15th, Liberté, released last year in 2021. It's got Tom Johnson on it, Patrick Simmons, Michael McDonald and John McPhee. We've got the first track is Oh Mexico. Oh, what a rocker. Great little track. Nice vocal here. I love it. Really good. Better Days, solid track again. Nice little rocker. Don't You Mess With Me. Favourite track on the album. It's got some really good riffs on this. Terrific stuff. Cannonball John. It's that Patrick Simmons guitar sort of sound. Lovely stuff on that one. Wherever We Go. It's a bit poppy, bit radio friendly, but it's okay. The American Dream, a great rocker. Love that track. This is going back to the good old days. Shine Your Light, solid enough track. We Are More Than Love, that's alright. Easy Tom reminds me of that early sound from the Doobie Brothers, very good. Just Can't Do This Alone, it's certainly got that classic sound. They've really turned it around, very good. Good Thing, it's one of the weaker tracks, not particularly fond of it. Amen Old Friend, this has got some nice harmonies on this, really strong stuff. Okay, this is a very strong album, to the fact that I've actually now put it into my library. It's got some really good tracks on it. Just feel that after all these years they still can go out there and do it and put out a reasonably good album. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 7 out of 10. Okay, then coming in at number 9, we go to the debut self-titled album, the Doobie Brothers, from 1971. It's the only official album that features their original bass player, Dave Schrogen. We've got Tom Johnson, Patrick Simmons, Dave Schroden, and John Hartman. Opens up with the classic Nobody. Really good track, love that one. Slippery St. Paul, I just love Patrick Simmons' guitar work on this. He's a pretty good player and love all the harmonies on this track, fantastic. Greenwood Creek, harmonica on this really is good, really chill out track. It Won't Be Right, solid track. Let me get Travelling Man, great track, one of my favourites on the album. Feeling Down Farther, it's okay, not particularly a favourite of me, Iain. The Master, again it's a little bit here or there. Growing a Little Each Day, love this, love the piano on this, really good track and adds to this track. Beehive State, mind blowing track, brilliant, great guitar work here, nice little rocker. Closer Every Day, another really good track, love the guitar solo on that one, that's absolutely brilliant. Chicago, this is what I call a bit of a busky tune. You can imagine them busking on the street corner with that one. Pretty good track. Pretty good debut album, got some really strong tracks on it, some nice guitar work on the whole album, pleasant enough album to listen to. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 7.3. Takin It, coming in at number 8. Go to the 8th album, released in 1978. Minute by Minute. It was the last album to include members John Hartman, who didn't come back until Cycles, and Jeff Baxter. So we got Patrick Simmons, Michael McDonald, Jeff Baxter, Tieran Porter, John Hartman and Keith Knudsen. First track here, To Love You. I would say this is probably one of the best tracks from this Michael McDonald era. Really good track. What Fool Believes, another solid track. Like that one a lot. Minute by Minute, I love this. It's a bit bluesy here. It's not bad at all. Depending on You, my favourite track actually. I love the funky sound on this. It's actually one of the funkiest Doobie Brothers sound tracks I like. And Don't Stop to Watch the Wheel, a really good little rocker on this one. Very, very good. Open Your Eyes, a very solid track. Got a nice tempo to it. Sweet Feeling, love the bongos on this, and it works well with the acoustic guitar. Steamer Lake Breakdown. When you hear this, you expect Johnny Cash to start singing, but it's an instrumental. Very good little track. You Never Change, not particularly a fan of that one. It's not too bad. The next one, How Do Fools Survive. It's got a good sax solo on it. This is probably my favourite Michael McDonald sort of lead album. It's got some really good rockers on it as well, so I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 7 out of 7.5. Okay then, coming in at number 7, we go to the 13th album, released in 2010, World Gone Crazy. This features Tom Johnson, Pat Simmons, John McPhee and Michael Hassock. Brighter Day, really good opening track, some nice guitar work on this, nice harmonies too, great vocal. Chateau, my favourite track on this album. It's a little rocker with some great riffs in this one, absolutely brilliant. Then we got Nobody again, an update version. It's all right. it's a little bit different from the original, but it's good. World Gone Crazy, another good track. The drumming on this is superb. Love that one. Far From Home, some great Patrick Simmons guitar playing on that lovely song. Young Man's Game, love some rock and roll there, excellent, great vocal from Tom Johnson. Don't Say Goodbye, this features Michael McDonald. It's not a bad track, nice vocal from Michael, nice to see him doing a song on this album. My Baby, another great track, old style Doobie Brothers, old Jerez, very Latino, Carlos Santana stuff, pretty good track. I Know We Won, that features Willie Nelson, great little country song, great vocal from Willie. Lord Day's a song straight from the Delta, lovely bluesy feel to it. Little Prayer, it's okay. New York Dream's a bit of a filler. Really good album. Got some stonking rockers on this. One of their best albums since they reformed. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 7.8. Coming in at number 6 then, we go to the 10th album, released... I haven't put when it was released. What a wally. I'll put it in the... basically this is the first album since they got back together. It's called Cycles. We've got Bobby LeKind comes in and plays a little bit on here. Tom Johnson's back. So the album is Tom Johnson, Patrick Simmons, Tieran Porter, John Hartman and Michael Hassock and Bobby LeKind. First track is The Doctor. What a track. Great little rock track is this, some nice guitar work. Then we get One Train, Don't Make Me No Prison. Love this, it's rocky, it's got brass in it, excellent, my favourite track on the album. Take Me to the Highway, solid track. Great vocal. South of the Border, bit funky, but it's pretty good. Timing is Here and Gone, another one of my favourites, really good sound. Proper Doobie Brothers. Then we get I Can't Read Your Mind, solid track. They're really on good form, coming back. Tonight I'm Coming Through, a great OAR track, but good. Wrong Number, very funky sort of track, but very good. Too High a Price, nice rocker, got some good riffs, the vocal is good, love the solo in this, fantastic. This was a great comeback album after the split. Pity I can't remember what year it came out, but there you go. I do love this album, and I'm going to give it an RTO ranking of 8 out of 10. Coming in at number 5 then is the 11th album, released in 1991, Brotherhood. Makes the final appearances of the Doobie Brothers bassist Tieran Porter and original drummer John Hartman. So we have got Tom Johnson, Patrick Simmons, Tieran Porter, John Hartman and Michael Hossack. Something You Said, what an opening riff. Absolutely brilliant. Love that track. Is Love Enough? It's quite funky, but a very good track. Gritty stuff. Dangerous. Love the guitar from Patrick Simmons on this. It's got a really bluegrass sound to it. Great rocky as well. Absolutely brilliant. Our Love, solid track. Love that one. Divided Highway, my favourite track on the album. I love that driving bass line from Tieran Porter. Great little rocker. Under the Spell, that's okay. It's not the best one, but it's listenable. But they are Excited, again, solid track, nice rocker. Love the guitar solo. Got some brass in this. It's really uplifting. This Train I'm On, that's okay, I suppose. Showdown, this is a very good track. Nice riffs. Rolling On, great little way to end the album. Without a doubt, this is the best album by the Doobie Brothers since they reformed. It's got some great rockers on it. It's definitely going away from that soulful sound they had. And I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 8.3. Okay, then coming in at number 4, we have the 5th album, released in 1975, Stampede. It was the final album for Tom Johnson until he reappeared. So we've got Tom Johnson, Patrick Simmons, Jeff Baxter, Tieran Porter, John Hartman and Keith Knudsen. First track is Sweet Maxine. I love this. I love that jazzy, bluesy guitar start. That goes into a nice little rocker. Good track. Neil's Fandango. Some really nice work here. The playoff between all the guitar people play the guitars on this is brilliant. They all have their own little bit. Absolutely stunning track. Texas Lullaby. It's okay, not one of my favourite tracks, but it's listenable. Music Man, nice funky rock track that is. Great stuff. Slack Key, Soko Rag. Another wonderful bit of Patrick Simmons guitar playing. Love it. Take Me In Your Arms, Rock Me. That's a bit wishy-washy. I Cheat the Hangman. I love this track. Always love this track. I love the story. It's a proper cowboy sort of story. Some great guitar work. Fantastic track. Then we got Precise. It's a little instrumental by Jeff Baxter, showing that he's a good guitar player. I like that little thing. Rainy Day Crossroad Blues. Really good track that is. Bit bluesy, rocky, very good. I've Been Working On You. Nice guitar work on this. Great solo. Nice little rocker. Then we got Double Dealing, Four Flusher. One of my favourite rocky tracks by the Doobie Brothers. It's got a great solo. Really rocks. Pretty good way to end the album. Okay, this was probably the last really solid of them early albums. It's got some great rockers on here. Love all the guitar work on this album. And I'll give this an RTO ranking of 8.4. Okay, coming in at number 3, we have the 4th album released in 1974. What Were Once, Vices Are Now Habits. For a start, I love that cover. That's a great cover. It's got Tom Johnson on it, Patrick Simmons, Tieran Porter, John Hartman and Michael Hossack. I'd say this is probably what I call that classic lineup of Doobie Brothers. First song is Song to See You Through. Bluesy sound with horns. Love it. Great stuff. Then we get Spirit, very country rock. This is mixed. It's a mixture of rock and country. Very good track. Pursuit on 53rd Street, short but a great track. Blackwater, really good song. I love this is a fusion of country and rock. Very good song, really one of my favourites from the band. Eyes of Silver, sorry. Another good rocker, love the riffs, reminds me of the Eagles, and that's cool anyway. Road Angel, great guitar playing from Tom and Patrick on this, absolutely stunning track. You just can't stop it. Again, some great rock music here with horns, gives it that extra boost. Tell me what you want and I'll give you what you need. Very country but a very pleasant track. Down the Track, my favourite track on this album, one of my favourite tracks by the band, I'd say. Down the Track is brilliant, great rock track. Another Park, Another Sunday, again some lovely acoustic guitar work on this to this nice little country number. Daughters of the Sea, it's one of the weaker tracks on the album for me. Flying Cloud, yeah, it's okay, it's solid. This is a brilliant album. I mean, I love every track on here bar one. I love playing this album. I know the one I don't particularly like. I don't skip it though. I'll just let the album play through. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 8.5. Okay, then coming in at number 2. Oh, this was hard doing these two. It's the two albums that I love, but I think one track edged it for it. So coming in number 2, we have the second album released in 1972, and it's Toulouse Street. First album that featured Tieran Porter and second drummer Michael Hussack. And he joined John Hartman, so we had that double drum trademark sound. So we got Tom Johnson, Patrick Simmons, Tieran Porter, John Hartman and Michael Hussack. First track, Listen to the Music. What a classic. Everybody loves this. It's been covered so many times, but this obviously is the best version. Rocking Down the Highway, another great rocker, love it. Malbalo, another good track, love the guitar arrangement on this, it is fantastic. Title track, Toulouse Street, love the harmonies, the flute, guitar, it's just fantastic track. Cottonmouth, really funky but a great guitar work, I do like that track. Don't Start Me Talking, not a bad version of the Sonny Boy Williams song, pretty good. Jesus Is Just Alright. John Hartman and Michael's drumming on this is pretty good. This is great, I love the harmonies and that Latino style of rock, excellent. White Sun, again some great guitar work on it and the harmonies on this are just superb. Disciple, great track, love the bass line from Tieran Porter, solid guitar work from Tom and Patrick, my favourite track on the album. And Simple Snake, I just love this, very just guitar and single, very simple and effective. Rather different from the debut album, it's got more rock tracks on here. They're all great from top to bottom. It's still got some of that more subtle, gentle stuff from the first album, but some really good rock stuff. It works well, great combination, and it is a brilliant album. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 8.9. Okay, the number 1 album. Well, it was going to be in it. It's a lot of people's favourite album. Third album from 1973. It's The Captain and Me. We've got Tom Johnson on here, Patrick Simmons, Tieran Porter, John Hartman and Michael Hussack. Opens up with Natural Thing. Love this. That funky sound that Doobie Brothers created, and a great vocal from Tom. I love that track. Then we have got a classic track, of course, it's Long Train Running, Everybody loves this. There's a reason again, because it is a damn good track. I love the harmonica solo in this. It's such, really gives it that extra little bit of beef. China Grove, love that opening riff. Great little rock track. Dark Eyed Cajun Woman, I love the bluesy feel to this, and that keyboard is just absolutely stunning. Clear as the Driven Snow, this is a brilliant track. I love the different textures of guitars on this. You get some nice delicate stuff, and then all of a sudden you get some of this hard grinding rock stuff. Great track, my favourite, one of my favourite tracks by the band. Without You, another belt of a rocker. The guitar solo is brilliant, even got a bit of cowbell in there. It is a really strong track. South City Midnight Lady, again, I just love all the guitar work in this. It is a solid track. Evil Woman, our second favourite track on this album. It's quite heavy for the Doobie Brothers. The drums sound brilliant on this. Busted Down Around, love it, another great track. Nice little slow little bit of instrumental, 48 seconds, but it's a great little piece of music. Ukulele, funky this is. It's got a great solo, one of their best funky sounding tracks I ever did. And the title track ends up the album, The Captain and Me, one of those little country rockers. You've got some banjo in this. It's a brilliant track, love it. Why do I love this album? I think it's got a bit of everything in this. It's got rock, it's got country, it goes across all the genres. There's some delightful harmonies on this as well. Not a bad track on this album. It's the go-to Doobie Brothers album for me, and I'm going to give it an RTO ranking of 9 out of 10. Okay, that's all for today, folks. It's not as long as some of them we've done, but it's still reasonably long. It's a band I have become more fond of in the last, I'd say it's probably more in the last 12 months. And you know, when I was growing up, I was all thrash bang wallop, and I think as I get older, I start to really appreciate bands like this more. I don't know if it's a sign of getting older, but I do like the band now, and I think their new album is pretty cool, so check that one out. Okay, I'll be back tomorrow. God, we're up Thursday already. Then and Now tomorrow, a treat for thrash metal people. We'll be doing a Then and Now on Metallica, followed by album artwork tomorrow, which is Rainbow. We're going down a little bit of a Deep Purple connection, haven't we? We've done Whitesnake, we're doing Rainbow tomorrow. Then we got the live stream round about 8ish. So join me all for that. Have a fab day. I'll speak to you all tomorrow.